there everyone, it's Missy here. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello. Hi, hello. So I disappeared off the planet again, and I'm going to share why and what's been going on. So if you're interested in that, just keep on hanging on. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Misty. I started this channel in 2016, and in 2017, I really started focusing on doing keto. I was also trying to get diagnosed with what be later diagnosed as myasthenia gravis, but in the end of 2021, that diagnosis was ruled out after 5 years, and it's been a struggle bus ever since. So, excuse me, the last time I saw you guys was the beginning of May, and I think I weighed in. I cannot remember what I weighed in, but I weighed in today at 359. So I've basically stayed the exact same weight. In May, I was like, I'm going to, get back on eating low carb, blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't. You guys know, I mentioned it before. I told my endocrinologist, I was like, I have been eating my feelings since January. I know it's not the right thing to do, but I've been doing it. I need to find a new counselor, etc. But it's been one thing after the other. So I saw my endocrinologist in May. Yeah. And my A1C when I saw her back in the winter was 8. And when I saw her this time, it was 8.5. What is it right now? It's probably a little higher because I'm drinking a nice coffee. It's 3 p.m. Rob said he may be up 24 hours. I'm running around 2:15. It stays that way. It's 3 o'clock and I haven't eaten today. It's probably some of it too. This Wegovy, I'm on Wegovy if you didn't know. It's the sister to Ozempic. They're basically the same thing. They're just under different names because when it's under Wegovy, it's considered a weight loss drug and you can do a higher dosage. So I'm in the highest dose of Wegovy. The only thing I don't like about it is it's completely changed my sense of taste and it's completely changed my sense of smell. You guys know I used to eat ribeye all the time. I cannot. I just had prosciutto yesterday for the first time in months. Can't do it. I did have a hamburger the other day that I made at home that was actually really, really good. I bought some buns from Costco, the keto buns from Costco. I'll try to remember to throw up a picture of them. They're actually really good. And apparently they have bread too. So next time Rob goes, I'm going to have him get some bread. So I am no longer doing keto and I am no longer doing carnivore. I am trying to stick to something that's a bit lower carb, but I can't do a lot of protein because it just doesn't taste like meat. It just doesn't taste like it should. So that's kind of what's been going on with that. I have been like having one meal a week where I just eat what I want and, just going from there. Is it the right thing to do? No. Do I know that? Yeah. Is that going to stop? Hopefully. So you guys know that we just went through a bathroom remodel. I owe you guys that video. I promise it's coming. But the 1st of May, I think it was the 1st of May. I honestly cannot remember when it happened. I was taking a shower and noticed that there was water on the floor outside the shower door. And thought, oh, maybe I sprayed it or whatever. And we had noticed that our door had started shifting. So it's glass. I'll try to remember to throw up a picture. It's absolutely gorgeous. Maybe I should do that video first and then show you guys. But so it's all glass and we have a glass door. And the guys that installed the glass said, let us know if it starts to rub, etc. Because he was concerned there wasn't enough structure on the left-hand side. So we had noticed that the door had started kind of catching and it got worse and worse and worse. So I'm taking my shower and we noticed water on the floor. A couple of days later, I took a shower and there was even more water on the floor. So we're both thinking that it's coming from the glass. And so we call our guys to come out. They come out and look there, and it was like 3 or 4 days later. They're like, that's not from the glass. That's from the bench. And we were like, what the hell? And at that time, it was just a little bit of water. So it was a Sunday, and I remember that. And it was like someone had turned a faucet on under my bench and water was basically gushing out like the faucet was on.
here is the broken grout, cracked grout all along the side here. As you can see, the water is just running out right through there. And as the guys who pointed out, the guys from the glass company pointed out, there's a few cracks underneath the seat as well, but obviously we have a problem with all of this just rushing out.
So I had Rob get I was like, because we'd already reached out to the builders or the contractor and was like, hey, there's water, there's a leak. We talked to our glass guy. They said it's not the glass. He was like, oh, well, I'll send somebody out there to caulk it. And at the time I was like, okay. But once this water started coming out from underneath the bench, I was like, holy crap. And again, it was a lot of water. So he was like, okay, I'm going to send somebody out there to caulk it. And I was like, no. I said, absolutely not. I said, because they have 100% money back guarantee because they say no leaks because they use something called Wetty. I don't know. So I talked to them and they're like, well, we'll send somebody out to caulk. And I said, no. I said, you can't just come in and caulk it. I said, there's water in the wood. I was like, there has to be water in the wood because the whole, it shifted. It shifted enough that the door was hitting on the glass, and a lot, not just a little bit, a whole lot. And I was like, there has to be water in the structure because it wouldn't move unless there was water in the wood. And when I tell you that I had to go up the chain, so I called and I was like, hey, there's this leak. And she's like, oh, we'll send a plumber out. I was like, well, I don't need a plumber. I said, it's not the plumbing. I was like, it's coming out of the structure. Well, you didn't tell me that. I was like, well, that's why I asked to speak to somebody who knew what the fuck they're talking about. I didn't say that, but I was thinking that. And I didn't want to work with the foreman or the guy that was over our project because he overpromised on everything. It was just not a good experience with him. Plus, he was very misogynistic. Once he introduced himself to me, he directed all of his conversation toward Rob. And that really pissed me off. Number one, because I'm a woman, don't do that. And number two, I was the one running the show. I was the one setting everything up. And so I just was pissed about that. And then he overpromised and everything was rushed. So I was like, this is because they were rushed. He would send them to somebody else's house. We had 4 or 5 days left. And he's like, I'm going to send them over to this house to fix something. And it should only take a couple of hours and then they'll come over. They came over at 6 p.m. for 3 nights in a row. It was almost finished and they were rushing because they were working so much overtime. So I was like, that's part of what the issue is. So they were like, we're going to send somebody out to caulk. And I said, no, you're not. So they sent out the installer and he's like, there's no water. I said, yes, there is. He's like, no, there can't be any water. There's Wetty. I was like, there's water. The wood is swollen. There's water. It's like, it wouldn't have shifted if there wasn't water. And he's like, no, there's no water. So he left. I called him in the next day and I called the corporate office and I said, listen, we spent a shit ton of money on this bathroom and you guys are going to fix it. So, and the guys were like, if they come fix it, call us so we can take the glass out. He's like, you don't want them touching your glass. And I was like, okay. So and I told the guy on the phone, I was like, you can talk to me. I said that he needs to talk to my husband. I said, because I don't like him. I don't want to work with him. I don't even want to talk to him. So I basically hid in my craft room when the guy came in. He cut a hole in the pony wall and he's like, I don't see any water. And Rob's like, hold on. He turned on the faucet and there was a river running. He's like, oh yeah, there's water. I'd been saying there was water for 2 weeks and not a single person believed me. I was like, it's simple science. It's physics or whatever. When wood gets wet, wood swells and then it moves. So they sent someone brand new to our house. He came by on Friday. And that was another thing. He's like, okay, can we come on Thursday? And I said, let me see if I can get my glass guys out here on Wednesday. So they came on Wednesday. They take the glass out. And he's like, if this moves even a centimeter, you're going to need new glass. And I was like, well, they're going to be happy to pay for it. So I was like, oh my God. So the guy comes out. He was supposed to be here on Thursday. No one called. No one called to say he wasn't coming. Nothing. So he randomly shows up on Friday and he looks at it and he's like, I think this is from the bench. So he's like, we'll have to see. So Rob had put some damp red in the hole where they dug the hole. And the guy put fans. We had fans going. It was open. And so that was on Friday. He was coming on Monday to fix it. By Monday, it had shifted so much, like it had drawn out so much of the water that the glass was fine. So he comes and he takes and I'll insert a picture. He takes the bench, the stone off the bench, and that's where the issue was. And what happened was, when we ordered our quartz, we said we wanted a rounded edge because I'm going to be sitting on that. And if it was squared off, my legs would literally go to sleep. So when he installed it, we went and looked and he hadn't rounded the edge. So he ripped it out. Instead of repairing what was under it, they just left it. There was like rhubarb that was, there was so much rust. So he dug everything out, he put everything back, and the installers hadn't even used the right caulk. They had used like regular construction caulk and not the caulk that you use in a shower. I mean, it was just a mess. I literally thought they were gonna have to rebuild the whole damn thing. I was like, this is bullshit. I was like, the wood is wet, like I wasn't getting heard, etc. So he came and he spent the day here. He was lovely. He was so nice. You know, he walked Rob through everything that we needed to do. And so he fixed it and he's like, wait a few days before you get your glass in. We ended up having to wait a week and a half so they could come by and put the glass back in, and it fit. And praise the Lord, because they had left the silicone from the glass on the bench and he was able to line it back up. And so they came and they removed the silicone and put it back on. So it's now in working order. But that was 3 weeks of my life spent dealing with idiots. And I told her, I was like, this is so unfortunate, because up until then, the stuff with the guy was irritating, but it wasn't anything that like would turn me off of them doing something else. This completely turns me off. They haven't even called to see if we were happy with what happened or if the issue is even fixed. So yeah, I told Rob, I was like, no. I was like, nope. Because we have a bathroom that we need to have redone. We have our kitchen that we want to have redone. And they do those things. But nope. So if you're in Texas, Oklahoma, I think they're in Illinois, statewide remodeling is who we used. It's a nope. It's a nope. So that's what's been happening with that. And that was literally 3-4 weeks of stress.
Hello, Editing Misty here. I completely forgot. Before this, with the shower happened, our washing machine flooded. It flooded our laundry room and it got into our hallway. And our hallway is laminate, and the water got under the laminate, and all of the laminate in the hallway buckled. And Rob thought we had enough left over, but we don't. We only have 1 box. So that means we get to get brand new flooring. And we had to buy a brand new washer and dryer. Luckily, we had kind of been thinking that that was going to happen, that we would need to, and we were waiting for Memorial Day sale, and we were able to get a washer and dryer, pay cash. So that happened too. So May and June were really, really hard months for us. We're ready for something else to happen.
I was on my way to get a haircut, and the neurologist, so if you guys remember, my rheumatologist referred me to a neurologist at UT Southwestern after I said I didn't want to go back to UT Southwestern, and I wasn't going to be able to see him until January, so I did a phone appointment for October. Well, there's like 3 days in a row where I got a text that says you can get a quicker appointment, and I finally was able to get one. It was supposed to be Friday afternoon. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get my haircut, I'll be back. He tells me while I'm driving, so I have to pull over. I park in a parking lot and we talk, and it was basically like, he's like, I can't tell you anything. He's like, because I haven't seen you. He's like, I don't really know. And I was just like, God damn it. So I talked to him, explained to him what's been going on. I was like, the last doctor just was like, just it's fibromyalgia, just, throw it off. My rheumatologist said she's, notorious for that, blah, blah, blah. And he basically said, you know, since I'm not able to see you in person, he's like, I can't examine you. He said that from looking over your test, he's like, I agree that it's probably not autoimmune neuromuscular. He said there's clearly something neurological going on. He's like, but I can't say that it's a neuromuscular junction disorder, which is so weird because I've had four different neurologists diagnosed me with that. So apparently I have some strange neurological disorder that nobody knows about. I did get referred for genetic testing. They called and said they would call and make an appointment. I haven't heard anything from them, so I need to call them back. I finally have my FMA test for fibromyalgia. I'm taking that. They're going to come and draw blood like the day before I go to my infusion, because my Wellbutrin, I think it's under bupropion, and my Symphony Aria infusion for my RA are two medications that can cause a false negative. So I was like, what if I take it? I said, because by the 7th week of my infusion, it's worn off. Like I can feel that I need something again. So she's like, let's do it like the day before and hope for the best. So we're going to do that and then go from there. I haven't reached out to any other neurologist. I did ask that neurologist to refer me to a new endocrinologist. So when I saw my endocrinologist, it was basically like, you know, don't do that. Let's get your blood down and I'll see you in 3 months. And I was just like, so I asked him to refer me to somebody else because I told him, I said all of it, if you guys remember, October 2020, my blood sugars just started, no, 2020? Yeah, October 2020, my blood sugars became elevated for no reason. And it may have even been earlier in the summer. It wasn't what I was eating. It wasn't anything that I was doing that would cause my blood sugars to be elevated. And you guys remember I tried fasting. I did a 15-day fast. I did that 21-day fast, 21 days of only drinking water, not eating, and my blood sugar it never got below 100, did it? I don't think it did. I'll have to go back and look, but I don't think it ever got below 100. And so I was like, you know, I met this endocrinologist and she basically said, I'm going to put you on medicine. And then said, that was it. She barely tested me for Cushing's. I was like, I feel like there's something else going on. And I feel like we've put a Band-Aid on it. And I said, maybe it's all related. So he referred me to someone in something internal, blah, 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 blah. And I see them in October. So that's it. That's life. Life has been really, really stressful. Hopefully it'll slow down. Rob is supposed to be off next week for the 4th of July, but it looks like he may be working. Hopefully my brother and my nephew can come down and stay a couple of days with us. But yeah, that's it. I'm alive. I apologize. I haven't been posting on Instagram. I just haven't been in the mood to post food and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm not really doing keto or carnivore, so I don't really have anything to share with you guys. But I'm alive. I appreciate you, for those of you who've reached out. But yeah, I'm still here. I'm barely holding on. But hopefully I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks and I'll have better news. And hopefully I will finally have that new bathroom tour video done. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.